Hello, hockey fans. Hey, howdy, how are you? Drop the Gloves podcast, episode 5. There we go. Episode 5, brought to you by the good folks at Underdog Nutrition. Here's what you need to do. Stop where you are with this. Open another tab. You're in YouTube. Pause. Open another tab. Get into your Facebooks. Search out Underdog Nutrition, like their page, because here's what you're going to do. That page, not only is their Facebook page entertaining, you're going to see links to their other pages. The TikTok that they have, the videos that they play introducing the new products they have, the protein bars, the shakes, the powders, everything that you need to put on muscle, to add mass, to gain, to keep that summer body. I told you guys winter was coming. We've been talking about that for the last 3 or 4 weeks, that winter was coming. Winter was going to come, and boy did winter came. Winter came all over Northeast Wyoming. There is a load of snow we had to get cleaned up here. So that's why you're seeing this. We're virtual again from Big Lost Meadery. The interviews you're going to see tonight, Nicolas Dellibovi, Trboyevich, both of those took place live at the meadery. I was hoping to get back down there this evening. We did the interviews on Monday. I was going to do this open on Wednesday after the NA3HL introduced or posted all their awards and stuff for the last week. It's the Gillette's a shit show right now. So the city does an immaculate job cleaning stuff up. I wasn't going to be out and about tonight, so we're set up at the virtual studios, bringing this to you. Everything you're going to see the rest of the night here will be done at Big Lost. We'll wrap it up again here at the end. We'll go through, boys are headed on the first road trip tonight, or this weekend, and statistics and all of that stuff. A little cleanup from last week, something I forgot to mention. The good folks at the Basin Radio Network were a huge part of making sure that those St. Jude's jersey auction jerseys, that all the proceeds raised from that went directly to the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. You guys, the best supporters, fans in junior hockey, raised over $4,000 that weekend, over $4,000. Write a check, ship her up north, I think. I'm not sure where the hospital is. Check got written, check got shipped. That was you guys. That was your continued support and opening up your purses and wallets and continuing to show that the people of Campbell County, the people of Gillette, the people of Wyoming, the people that continue to support the Gillette Wild, there's not a finer class of people around. So that, I forgot to mention that last week. I wanted to get that in this week. Also, Declan Young has now cemented himself as the greatest scorer in Gillette Wild history. He not only has the points record and goals record. The only thing we're waiting on is assists. We'll get into that a little bit later. Let you know where we're at there. As for this past weekend, it was another home and home. Boys go to Sheridan, get a win. Actually, they beat Sheridan the first time they ever played in 2019. Since then, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Sheridan's had their way. They've had their way with this. That changed dramatically this weekend. First win ever in our barn against the Hawks. Saturday night, almost 500, or a little over 500 of you showed up, watched the game. Phenomenal, great hockey game. Broke loose there in the third. It was outstanding. Trboyevich, the NA3HL Bauer Defenseman of the Month for the month of September. He's coming up later. After him, we're going to talk to a young man who I don't think there's anybody hockey, backgammon, poker, whatever you do in life, there is nobody having as much fun in the game of life right now is Nicolas Dellibovi. We could have legitimately talked for 2 hours. He's fun. 2 phenomenal interviews coming up. Those will follow what we've been doing the whole time. We're going to take a look back at the Wilds weekend that was.
Got Gillette coming in 8-0, playing a 1-7 Sheridan. Should be an interesting game here tonight.
2 absolutely different trajectories for the 2 teams so far, but this game always brings out the sparks, it seems like, between the 2. No surprise there.
Yeah, last couple games, Sheridan hasn't looked like a 1-7 team.
No.
It's had a couple close games. And we're getting ready for the first face-off here. First face-off taken by Gillette. Little D-to-D pass. Big stretch pass across, taken by Torgrimson. All alone in, shoots, and a nice glove save.
Great job
by the Gillette goalie.
Wow, way to read that play and pick off that puck. Nice save by the goalie for Gillette.
Great play, great save.
35, Jake Turek. I don't know if I said that right.
Okay. So, Nick Tiggs, who left the ice a minute ago, taking that puck to the face, is back on the ice, so that's a good sign for Sheridan. Declan Young's got it, still in front, takes a shot and scores right over the left shoulder of goalie Kirisak. Very well placed shot there, so Gillette goes up 1-0 here on the power play. But he just walked that right in.
Yeah.
There was no Sheridan player anywhere near him.
And he let that guy, I think it's his 3rd year we've seen him score quite a few goals. So he let him walk in like that. That's almost a sure thing. Beautiful shot up the corner.
I think Sheridan's only had the first shot of the game was an actual good opportunity. The rest of their shots have just been kind of
throw it on net and hope for something.
Yep, hopeful. And the goalie's done a great job of standing in there and making sure that none of those hopeful goals happen. So off the face-off, number 8 tries to get a shot, or number 2, sorry, Hicks tries to get a shot. Can't quite get it, and Gillette will get rid of it. And the down ref waves off icing. Gillette's got it behind the net. Takes a shot that goes high. Oh, Gillette's got it back in front. That's Declan Young again, and another goal.
Bad turnover there.
Bad
Beat
turnover.
out the ice, and a turnover, and you give the puck to that guy, and that's going to end up in the back of the net.
Yeah, as you said earlier, that's the one player the last couple of years that has done some damage for Gillette. Well, one of multiple, but he is definitely a name to remember. Oh, it looks like we got a goalie change for Sheridan here. Kirisak is out. Now we've got number 1, Bo Buckley, who is also a newcomer to Sheridan. This is his first day here. Something up here. Their penalty has expired, so it is 5-on-4. Last 17 seconds of this major. Got an opportunity for a couple shots here. Ooh, Cott steps up, deflects that puck. Oh.
That was a beautiful pass.
Wow, nice play. So Cott stepped up, got a little bit on that puck to deflect it out of the way, and it just happened to go to a Gillette player, sends it right across the crease, and there's not a goalie in the world that could have stopped that. That was a great backdoor play.
I feel like Gillette's been looking for that play all night, and they finally connect, and like you said, I don't think anybody stops that puck.
Got it. Tries to make a pass in the slot, gets deflected. Oh, we end up giving chase to Trboyevich. Again, Gillette walks away with that puck. We've got full strength now. Tigges is out of the box. Gillette's still got control in the zone here. Nice block there by Billings, and Trboyevich buries the rebound.
And you have a tired group out there for Sheridan.
Absolutely nothing you could do there.
Nope. Great shot.
Great shot. Rebound came right out to him. I think that's the first rebound I saw that wasn't into a corner. It just came right out. And He had his stick on his ice and buried it home. He's trying to seal that empty netter, can't do it. Sheridan rings it up around. Gillette maintains control again. 21's got it. He's going to try to finish this here. Billings makes a good skate save there and just sends it out of here with a second to go, and that will end the game. So Gillette takes this one 4-2. Very, very close game. Good battles. Gillette dominated. Huge percentage of that game.
Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to Spear Hall Ice Arena in Gillette, Wyoming, where the 9-0 Gillette Wild will be hosting the 1-8 Sheridan Hawks. This is the second meeting of the weekend, with the Gillette coming out with a win from yesterday. We'll talk more about that later. Your Gillette Wild are in their black, orange, and white socks with black breezers, white jerseys with bright orange numbers, and yellow accenting those numbers. The Sheridan Hawk come onto the ice in their bright blue sweaters with yellow accents. Face off is off. Looks like that was Hodney too. Trboyevich trying to keep it in at the blue line. And it gets out. We had to clear the zone. Baker going ahead and intercepting that from number 27 for the Hawks. Nice hustle by Baker. There's Declan. Yeah! Top shelf for your mama keeps the peanut butter. That's Declan Young. Woo! Boy, he has a pretty shot. Declan Young with the first goal of the game. It took us almost the whole game. We have 15 minutes and 5 seconds left in the third period. And that was beautiful. Right over the left shoulder of Bo Buckley. Kai Sparks was the one in the neutral zone there. Oh, that went through the legs of Fanning. Guittard that just came off the bench. Racing back forward, tries to get it up to Hodney. Off the boards for Dellibovi. Yeah! Yeah! Dellibovi over the right shoulder of Bo Buckley. Now, Nick has had several great shots today. It was only a matter of time. Nicolas Dellibovi shot over the right shoulder. And I told my husband this week, when I saw Nick in one of the elementary schools here in Gillette, they were playing hockey with some third graders during PE. Great group of boys. I said, you got to get him on your next podcast. Now, I'm definitely going to win that argument. Kevin has to put him on that podcast this week. And a hard hit. Fanning with a shot on goal. Goes off the leg pads of Buckley. Skating in the corner is 20. Looks like Hodney. Fanning at the blue line. Another shot. Goes off the stick. Pads. Quite the pushing. Shoving in it. Got it. I have no idea how or who. You can see Buckley sitting on his backside there. A lot of orange going around all over. Dellibovi out front of that line. They're going to give him the goal. Dellibovi, meanwhile, did not have a stick in his hand. Going off the boards, trying to get it out, but it kept in. Oh, going through the legs of number 25, unable to keep it in the zone. Tucker Lean skates it back to Seja Norwegian. Seja with a goal, low goal, hits the back of the net. So that's going to be a goal for Seja Norwegian with an assist from Tucker Lean. And just like that, the game is 4-0. Dutchman is going up against number 4, Sparks. That pass was passed up to Cooch, but Sheridan keeps it in, but Richards goes ahead and gets it, passes it up to, I think that's Isaac Young. Like it's he gets put on his back. We got another goal. With 2 minutes and 27 seconds left, there is another goal. Backside. Cooch got that goal. Number 73. Carson Cooch. And just like that, score was 5-0 with 2 minutes and 27 seconds left in the third period. And these poor Hawk guys, the air has been taken out of their cells completely. Dellibovi for the faceoff here. He's going up against number 9, Vasco. And the horn has sounded. Your Gillette Wild have just beat the Sheridan Hawks for the second time this weekend. Today's score, 5-0. All 5 goals coming in the third period. As your Gillette Wild get ready to thank the fans for their support and for coming. We wait for all the Hawks players and coaches to get off the ice. And then we'll wait for Kevin to give us the 3 stars. Congratulations, boys. As always, a lot of fun to come watch these games. Ready to share their 3 stars.
On defense with the pair of assists, number 13, 10,
Weisler, your 3rd star, had 2 assists for the game. Nice job, Leighton. There's Nicolas Dellibovi, 2nd star, with 2 goals in the game. Zach Orchard is going to be the 1st star of the game with a shutout, 5-0 against your Sheridan Hawks.
Dylan Olsen to the point. Richardson steps in. Rister. That one gets deflected. Got a partial break here. Royal's not going to be able to catch the man. Shot. Hit the top of the netting. That's a goal now, though. The scramble in front, and Gillette puts it home. What a great play as Sanborn was streaking. Gillette finishes it in front. Declan Young, I believe, is going to get credit for it on the rebound attempt. There's a mad scramble in front of netminder Trevor Mellon. The breakdown in coverage. The bouncing puck out and the partial breakaway by Sanborn results in the Gillette goal to go ahead about a quarter way through this third period. So 14:40 remaining on the Iceplex scoreboard, 2-1 in favor of the Gillette Wild.
So Wild gonna bring back out the Baker Young Sanborn line here with the face-off in the quake zone to the left of LaCusta. Got Fanning and Rodriguez up high. Fanning tips it. Sanborn had a piece of it. Wild able to kick it up and go after it, but it's taken there by Joey Eplin. Eplin getting chase, and Declan gets it, tries to send it down low. Sanborn trying, another one there. Sanborn looking, sends it towards the net. Oh, Young was there but couldn't get a redirect. Young with it down low. Declan. Sanborn trying to come away with it as Eplin gives pressure. Baker sends it near side. Comes around the wall to Young. Young tries to fire one in, tough angle, but Baker's going to be the first to get to it. Goes down low to Sanborn. Sanborn looking right to Young. Oh, Young couldn't pull the trigger. A Quake player got a little piece of it right there. And then Young, quick, brings it in. Laying right at the side of the net, and Declan Young knows how to find the back of it, that's for sure, and able to grab that one and fire it over the left side of the goaltender, and just like that, the Wild score again and take a 2-0 lead on an even strength goal by Declan Young, and that was just good work down there by the Wild.
Okay. So Nick Tiggs, who left the ice a minute ago, taking that puck to the face, is back on the ice, so that's a good sign for Sheridan. Declan Young's got it still in front, takes a shot and scores right over the left shoulder of goalie Kirisak. Very well placed shot there. So Gillette goes up 1-0 here on the power play. He just walked that right in.
Yeah.
There was no Sheridan player anywhere near him.
And he let that guy, it's his third year we've seen him score quite a few goals. So he let him walk in like that. That's almost a sure thing. Beautiful shot up the corner.
Okay, we now welcome on very special guest, the Bauer Defenseman of the Month, Brock Trboyevich. First, thank you for taking some time to join us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Okay, before we get to kind of the accolades of September and the start of the year, I had a question on Saturday night. So, as a defenseman, do you guys know that it's a shutout? Like, are you paying attention to that and you kind of know you haven't given up a goal? Like, from the standpoint of when a pitcher's having a good game and there's a no-hitter going, you don't talk to him. Where does a shutout kind of rank with the defenseman from that standpoint during a game?
A shutout, like, you don't really want to talk about a shutout. You don't want to jinx it for the goalie, so you try to keep it under. Like, you don't want to say it a lot. But you do want to get a shutout. So you don't, like you say, you're doing a great job, goalie. Keep it up. But you don't want to say it. Just bad.
So it's kind of there is a little deal there where as it gets later in the game. Now, is that something the whole team knows? Is there a difference kind of in the makeup between the forwards when there's a shutout and the defense when there's a shutout?
I mean,
or do you all take pride in it?
We all take pride in the shutout, but again, for the D, like, it's kind of our job to keep the puck away from the net as much as we can. But then again, like, most of the team together is like, you don't really talk about a shutout, but because we want a shutout for the goalie.
Got you. So when so Sheridan takes that timeout after the Declan scores, Bovey scores, and I think they took the timeout when it was 2-0. You guys kind of come over there. That's one of those things where you're not going to go up to Orchard and be like, all right, man, we almost got it. You just leave him alone.
We leave him be. Just let him do his thing. He's been doing good up until that point, so we'll just let him do his own thing.
Got you. Leave him alone and let it go.
Exactly.
How are you feeling kind of where you guys are now, 10-0 here to kind of start the season?
Obviously off to a great start, feeling good. I'd say we and Helena, obviously the two best teams in the division so far, and we're looking to go undefeated up into Helena and see how we rank up against Helena.
So that does seem kind of wild how the schedule worked out, that you're going to see everybody in the division, some of them twice.
Yep.
So you guys will kind of have a good idea. You don't know what's going to happen, but I expect there to be some separation between, 1 and 2 at the top and kind of everyone else in the division. So is it important that you take care of business now so that those games do mean the most when you play them? If it comes down to you guys and you are 1 and 2, if you were to get them, that locks up that home ice for the playoffs.
Exactly. We got to take every game seriously. We got to beat. Our goal was undefeated. Try to stay undefeated throughout the season because we know we're up there.
Yeah, and it's different. I've told all the guys that have come in I love where I get to sit and watch the games. Like, I feel very fortunate to get to sit right there on the glass, and you can feel the energy, both good and bad.
Yes.
And it's good energy right now. You guys are fun as hell to watch. So do you guys feel that too?
Oh yeah, we're having a good time out there, obviously. Just keeping our game going as best as we can, just to keep going.
Okay, so let's go back to Little Brock, okay? So it's the same thing I went over with all the guys. So I want to know, going back, you started tiny, 4 or 5 years old.
Yes.
So going back, what is your earliest first memory of hockey?
I think when I first started, my earliest memory is me not really wanting to be on the ice and like keep going, keep trying to push around the chair, not really wanting to be out there. And then I get asked after the end of the year, do I want to play hockey? And I kept saying yes. I don't know why. I kept saying yes, and my parents obviously said I wasn't a fan of the hockey at first, and now it's built. Now I got a love for the game.
Okay, that seems to be a very common answer is for the love and skill level and the passion you guys show for hockey, none of you seem to have wanted to have played it when you were little. So what do you attribute it now is even where you guys help out with the Blades and Avalanche and you watch the little kids, what do you think about it? Like, what is it about hockey maybe that seems scary to a 4-year-old?
Obviously the skating is obviously pretty difficult at first. It is very tough to figure out. Watching doing Blades and Halves, you can tell it's difficult for kids to do that and learn that. And obviously when you're a kid, your attention spans it's not really there, so I can see why.
Does that get any better as you got older? Has your attention span got any better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paying a little more attention to hockey?
Yep, that's for sure.
Okay, so you don't really like it at the start to win. Where's the switch flip that you can't get enough of it?
Like mites or squirts, like right away, mini mites, not very good skating. It only takes a few years just to get it down, get good enough at the skating, and where you're starting to actually play games against other teams and you're scoring goals and having fun with your friends, stuff like that. So that's when I tried to kind of switched.
Nice. So kind of explain a little bit about, you're from Taconite.
Yep.
So am I saying that right?
Taconite, Minnesota.
Okay, Taconite, Minnesota. What is the kind of the youth program structure there, and kind of what you did coming up through the youth program?
Through the youth program, there's in my spot not very many people.
Okay, so what are we looking at size-wise?
We had probably 30, 40 kids through the whole one stage of we got squirts, bantams, peewees, stuff like that. There's only 20 or 30 kids in each group.
Gotcha.
Not a lot of kids.
Okay. Population-wise, what is Taconite?
Taconite.
1,000, 5,000?
Not even close. 360.
Okay.
So what it is, there's a bunch of back in the day iron mining, a bunch of small iron mining towns. So you got I lived in Taconite. If you remember Mitchell Vekic from last year, he lived in the town over from me, Bovi.
Okay.
And then where the rink is and the high school is and the schools are is in Coleraine, Minnesota, which is 1,600 people, and Bovi was 600, and there's a few other small towns that make up Greenway.
Gotcha. Got the Greenway on. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I also small. I grew up 5 miles on a dirt road, 5 miles east of a town that had 50 people in it. I went 17 miles to school with a town of 800, 11 kids in my graduating class. So I get the small town stuff. So you guys in the hockey program, you all knew each other.
Yep.
So is it dads, older brothers, cousins, or whatnot? Who's coaching you and working with you guys?
Mostly parents. Yeah,
okay.
Mostly parents.
Do you have a coach or a lesson or something you learned early on that it is stuck with you? Is there someone from the youth program that really had a big impact on kind of where you're at now?
Just probably my high school coach.
Okay.
That was about it. He played Division I, St. Cloud State.
Okay.
He's kind of a hard-o.
Yep.
And he taught me to build my own confidence, and I don't need anybody else to do that for me.
As you've seen kind of stuff, from the coaching standpoint, across all sports, the hard-o stuff is kind of going away a little bit, maybe where that's not as accepted anymore. I think hockey's maybe the last sport where that is still something that's what you guys want. You want discipline, you want taught. When you mess up, you want told. Don't sugarcoat it.
Yep,
Let's do it the right way. When do the real competitive games start? For example, this weekend almost got dirty, but it was rough and it was real competitive. What age did you really start playing in games like that, where it was a rival and you were hitting and stuff really got tough?
The first in Minnesota, the rule is up and Bantams is when you can start playing body and hitting.
Okay.
So I'd have to say Bantams, maybe even a little Pee-wees.
Okay.
So yeah.
Where were you going? Who was your team you loved to play but hated? Like who when you were growing up? Who was it?
Grand Rapids.
Okay.
Oh, Grand Rapids. Yep. They just had a guy that got drafted by the Minnesota Wild, and he was always on that other team against us, but we always managed. We'd always go back and forth with them. But then again, my high school career, we had a winning streak against them.
Nice.
Or winning record.
Nice. I have this written down. I'm trying to think of the best way to work into it. I'll ask you first about like the defensive skill set. Are you always a defenseman growing up, or is there a time you make a split where you start to focus, or where does that happen?
On through youth hockey, I played forward, mostly center.
Okay.
Like, cause my dad was the coach, and he'd throw me up on forward just to go. And it mostly switched Pee-wees. They put me at defense because my brother before me was a defenseman.
Okay.
So they thought probably off of my brother to play me at defense.
Okay, what's the age gap there? You and your brother?
3 years.
Okay, are you the youngest?
Yep.
Where are you at? Okay, so how many siblings do you have?
Just my one brother.
Okay, so it's just your brother.
Yep,
Okay, your
older brother.
and yourself. Okay.
Yep.
So then you start working on defense. What age do you start kind of soaking up and actually learning how, or when did playing the defensive spot start to make sense?
Definitely high school.
Okay.
Bantams, I mean, I was playing it, but I was trying to, wasn't really soaking in. I wasn't really loving it as much as I do now up until probably high school.
Okay, now, and that was kind of did all that to get to this. And I think this goes back to a lot of the Defenseman Award, where you were leading defenseman in points. So, and I still think your plus, I saw that it was 12 or 14 or something on the season. So great plus minus, and you're scoring points. How do you seem to end up in front of the net with the puck on your stick? Like, is that, how does that happen? So, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like there was a special last year on Jordan. I don't remember what it was called, but there was a little piece on Dennis Rodman. He talked about rebounds and watching shots and learning. Like, is that shit you work on? Because it just seems, I mean, it happened in Sheridan again Friday night, where there's chaos and there's a rebound, and all of a sudden you're 8 foot away.
It's
stick on tape, ready to rip. It's not dumb luck.
No, you got to be looking out. I think of it as like hockey IQ. You're always looking for lanes. The one in Sheridan.
I don't know what that means. What do you mean lanes?
Like lanes, you got to be looking. Like you say, your guys got the puck. You're thinking even without the puck. You're thinking, where could I go to give me the best chance to get a rebound, shot, or a pass?
Okay.
So I'm looking around, and like even then, like in Sheridan when I got that goal, I saw 1, 2, 3 guys on the point, and I know I'm a defenseman. I was like, there's no reason for me to be on the point right now. We need traffic in front. So I was in front of the net. Next thing I know, rebound, I score.
Gotcha.
So you're just looking, you just always heads up, always try to know where everybody is and stuff like that.
Is that a situation where as a defenseman and you sneak up in the zone? Okay, so when you're doing your shift, if you see, for example, another defenseman sneak up, then do you know, be careful behind you?
Yeah.
So that's another thing where you guys as a group have been together a lot and understand the game, that you have confidence that if you go sneaking up in there, someone's got to keep something bad from happening behind you.
Yeah, I saw that. I realized that they got it covered. There's 3 guys on the point. I was already in the zone from, I don't remember exactly what I was doing.
Well, it was chaotic. It was like they had waved off an icing, I think, and then it just just happened, and I think there was a big hit or something, and it got a little weird right there. But it, like I said, it seems like it seems like it always is on your strong hand, and then you're just whipping the piss out of one at the goal.
Just looking for spots, looking for lanes.
Hey man, it happens. Okay, so first road trip, kind of overnight road trip here that you guys are going to go on.
Yep.
Okay, let's go back. We'll go back to Little Brock again. Did you have a favorite place even back to mites, squirts, or whatnot. I mean, I know with the wife and I running our girls are on the high school girls team, running them around. We have our kind of favorite places to go here. Did you have a favorite place to go with youth hockey that was like your best hotel, best food, or something? Like, what was your favorite road trip?
Well, I mean, didn't really go on a lot of road trips.
Okay.
Didn't really stay overnight a lot.
Is that because you guys have so many people you can stay close?
There's so many teams in just northern
not like
Minnesota.
Wyoming where you have to drive 9 hours to play another team?
Nope.
Okay.
You could drive 10 minutes one way, 20 minutes the other way, 20 minutes the other way. There's teams everywhere.
Okay.
So you're not really staying a lot. But then again, you would have your occasional tournaments on the weekend. I liked there's always one in Detroit Lakes. That would be a fun one to go to. There really wasn't a lot more else that I can remember.
Do you remember like the first time that you kind of packed a bag and stayed and went with a team where it wasn't your parents that went on it, that was kind of you and the boys, and you guys went on a road trip?
Not that I can remember.
Dude,
I mean,
so
we
crazy.
did.
I'm a little jealous of you guys that you don't have to do it.
There was like in a summer league where you'd play like AAA, like young AAA. You'd go play in like Blaine, Minnesota.
Okay.
At like the super rink, and that's like the only time you'd really go around.
And that's all. I saw there was an email come out on that today for the NA3HL, the show at the super rink.
Yep.
What is that like? We
didn't get to play in it last year, and that was my first year last year, so I guess I don't really know what to expect.
But what's the rink like?
Oh, it's huge.
Okay.
There's probably 10 or so rinks in this complex. Yeah, there's so many rinks in there. It's huge.
See,
it's huge.
I'll have to get up.
It's up in Blaine, Minnesota. I played in there a few times in youth. I never played in high school there, but a lot of times in youth, like AAA. We played like on the Junior Bulldogs. It was called, me and a few other guys from my town with a bunch of other guys from the Iron Range. Go down, you'd go play a few games and see what happens.
What's the coolest or most unique, or maybe the favorite rink that you've played in?
I'd have to say the hometown rink in Greenway, Hodgins Berardo Arena.
Okay.
If you look it up.
What makes it?
A lot of the.
Like, what's it like?
All right, so in Minnesota, it's one of the only underground rinks in Minnesota. Like, you come in on top, like you enter in through the lobby and you're looking down at the ice. The ice is down here.
So it's like
lobby's
a
up
football
here.
Stadium in Michigan, like the big house where it's dug down.
It's
into
dug,
the ground.
yeah, it's dug into the ground. It's called the Snake Pit, and it's just unique.
Because when I think Minnesota, I think snakes. So.
Yeah, so and then again, like all the other rinks, like the coolest rinks I'd have to say are like northern Minnesota for sure. Like the one, like another favorite one to play in is called the Mini Ralph in Thief River Falls.
Okay.
It's just a giant rink with an underground rink, and then the other ones that are pretty cool are like the IRA Civic Center, the Memorial Building in Hibbing, Minnesota, the Miners Memorial, Virginia, the Hippodrome. That's where like the Hockey Hall of Fame is in Eveleth, Minnesota. And then you go down, like the farther you go down south, the newer the rinks are. They're more plain, like just boxed.
Less character.
Yeah, less character that's for sure. That's why I like the Greenway rink so much. It's got a lot of character.
So.
And it's got like like goal judges are like right behind the glass. They got these big old walkouts where you like the goal judge will sit right above the net, like probably 20 or 30, like 20 feet above the net.
Looking down
right at the net.
Nice.
Super unique.
How did you end up in Gillette? Like, what's the story with you ending up down here?
I started juniors in Granite City, which is Sauk Rapids, or St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Yeah, okay.
Mitchell Vekic, me and him were both tendered Granite City. I don't know what happened, but he went out to Gillette instead.
Okay.
And then the first 3 games in Granite City, I did not play. And I was like, all right, if it's going to be like this all year, I'm just going to leave.
Yeah.
So I got a hold of Mitchell. He said, you should come out here. Took his opportunity, and I liked it ever since.
First phone call, though, when you hear, hey, let's come out and take a peek at Gillette. What are you thinking now?
I was like, I don't know. It seems a bit far for me.
and then first impressions when you get here. Like, how does that trip work? Like, do you just come out and take your stuff to Spirit Hall and just practice? Like, what's that visit like?
When I first got here, I got here on a Thursday. I missed the practice. It was right before we went to Great Falls.
Okay.
So
you drove, missed practice, got on a bus, and drove to Great Falls?
Yeah, and I played, started.
Okay.
Started. Yep, first impression, it was, they weren't practicing in Spirit Hall at the moment. They're in the rock pile.
Okay.
So I get to the rink, I'm like, oh, this is our rink? This is a bit small.
So you didn't even know Spirit Hall
I didn't know,
existed?
I did not,
Okay.
I did not know Spirit Hall was a thing. And
Okay,
the first person I saw was Bovi, fresh off when he got his teeth knocked out.
Okay.
So he was looking pretty funny. I was like, who's this guy?
Yeah. Why am I here?
Yep. But turns out it was just a great group of guys, and I loved it.
Another thing we've talked about a lot with the guys is just kind of Spirit Hall and the atmosphere there. Do you enjoy playing there? Like, do you like the rink?
I love the rink. Definitely the nicest rink in the Frontier for sure.
And some of the perks where they were last week talking about like Gillette physical therapy and some of the stuff. I had one of the dads. Sometimes I overserve myself after the games at the OC. I can't remember exactly which dad it was talking to me about the community and the fans and the backing and what that means to junior hockey. Is that something that you see here that, I mean, within Gillette and the perks you guys get, is that something that can help? I mean, is that going to help attract players and
yes,
help build a program?
For sure. Like I think a lot of people want to play in front of a giant crowd. That's for sure. So it helps bring in people. I mean, when I'm playing, you see all those fans up there. It just gets electric.
Okay.
It definitely gets electric in there.
Okay. Last question, and I'll let you go. Anything you have to pack, because this is you got the first overnight trip going. You guys are going. It's the little one. You're going over to Cody.
Yep.
Anything that you have to take in your bag, like of anything you take on the trip, is there anything you have to have and that you'd be mad if you left, minus your uniform and shit? Like what do you have to have with you?
I gotta have my pillow.
Okay.
Gotta have the pillow.
From Taconite.
Yep. Gotta have my pillow. I like my pillows a specific way. And if it's too fluffy, not enough fluff, whatever it is, I just like my pillow.
At the hotel?
Yep.
Dude,
I shove all those other pillows off, and I got my pillow.
Now, who's your bunk mate? Do you already know? Over there, or how does that work?
They change it up every road trip, so I don't know.
Gotcha.
I don't know who I'm gonna be hanging out with.
Any games or any? I want to send you guys. I might send you guys with, we call it my missus, a little mobile recording thing. We tried to do it when you guys went to Sheridan. It happened. There's so many swear words. So if you guys take it to Cody, less swear words. But I'm curious what you guys do to kill the time and stuff. Like, because you go over Friday, do you check into the hotel when you get there, or do you go straight to the rink? How does that work?
It depends on when we get there. Usually a few times you'll get there pretty early. You get check in, you go hang out in your hotel room a little bit, relax, and then.
Do the guys usually stay congregated to your rooms?
Yeah.
Do you go to the lobby or kind of what?
Mostly more to the rooms. I suppose everybody after a bus ride kind of just wants to lay down for a little bit.
Gotcha, rest. So then you go, you play the game. Do they feed you at the rink, kind of like we do here with the pizza? Okay, so you'll have food there.
Yep, they get a bunch of Domino's pizza and they throw it on the bus.
God,
and then
you get sick of that by the end of the trip?
Oh, for sure. Okay. So then, like after you get off the bus, you grab pizza, go up to your room, and you and your roommate for the night will just eat some pizza.
So you guys stay in the room then after you get home from the games? You don't go to the lobby, no cards, no games? Or
you could.
Is that a rule or kind of what happens?
I guess it's not really a rule. It's just what you do.
Gotcha. So
just
then
go to your room.
So Saturday morning you get up, breakfast, and then are you guys hanging out again? Like, is there any card games or is there any gambling going on? Like, are we doing anything fun?
Sometimes you can play. We last year we played quite a bit of cribbage.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And then Saturday mornings for me, breakfast, go back to my room. I like to take a nap.
There's nothing wrong. Fill your belly up.
I like to take a nap.
I also like to do that.
Yep. And it's just what I've done. That's how I do it.
Cool. Man, I appreciate you taking some time.
Well, thanks for having me.
Coming and hanging out. Oh, yeah, no trouble. Well, looking forward to watching you guys. Actually, and this is kind of we talked about with all the volunteers. We've had 5 or 6 weekends in a row. I know you'll have some people going over there. I'm staying home this weekend. So we're looking forward to the week. We will have you dialed up, though, on the hockey TV.
That sounds good.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
We want to welcome a very special guest, Nicolas Dellibovi.
Nick,
What do you want?
it doesn't matter. You can call me
Bovie?
Nick. Yeah, you call me Bovie. Yeah, Bovie's
Here we
cool.
go. Okay, so there's several things I want to talk to you about, but I want to start with Saturday night. You guys, you didn't struggle. You struggled to score, but it wasn't so much that you guys struggled to score as much as, I don't remember his last name, Bo, just kept the puck out of the net. So finally there in the third, Declan gets one. You guys were playing good fundamental hockey. A lot of passing, a lot of setting stuff up, and he was just moving and stopping the shots. So Declan scores, gets up 1-0. I just watched it before we started. The puck comes off the boards. You end up with the puck right there about 17 foot away. When did you make the decision? So I don't remember who was to the left, which you guys had made. There had been nice passes, pretty hockey, no goals. And you decided to just rip the piss out of it. Like, when do you make that decision that, you know what, we're shooting the puck right here?
To be honest, I didn't really think I was going to hit the net anyways. I thought I was just going to miss it, have it go wide, and break it out, and I was just going to go change. But I don't know. I kind of had the eye for the top left. I saw he's a little bit off his angle, so I went for it. Not something I normally do, but.
So you at least hit where you were aiming.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
For the first time.
Is that something? Is there some frustration when you guys are I don't know, 15 to 17 times it was perfect hockey up until the block? Do you get frustrated, or what happens there?
It's more of a, it should have went in, and you just kind of laugh it off, and you're just they'll start falling. But then as soon as 10 minutes hit for us, we're like, shit, when are they going to start falling?
Yeah, eventually you're wishing you can get one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do a little, I got to make sure this is what happens after 2 or 3 beers. I want to make sure we were recording. I have done that before. Okay. We'll get back to other kind of the hockey stuff here too in a minute, but I honestly, you guys were at the elementary school where my wife teaches, and you guys were playing floor hockey, and she kind of talked about the group that was there and the camaraderie and stuff. But for you as an individual, are you having as much fun as it looks like? I don't know if anybody has as much fun. Anytime I see you, you seem to always be having a good time.
I'm always having fun. I don't know. I just look at life in a different way.
Why? What's the philosophy there?
I don't know. I've always been like that. You didn't want to go to school, so I made school fun for myself. I'd be the class clown, be the jokester, get into some trouble, but it was just all for the people around me to understand that, hey, you don't have to take everything so cutthroat and serious. You can have a little fun while you do it, and that's what I've been doing.
That too. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with that.
Oh yeah.
Like making the mood light, and so we were talking earlier or later. I don't know what order these will go in with you and Brock. When there's a shutout happening, do you guys know that? Is that something you're paying attention to? Okay.
Oh yeah.
So you don't say anything.
No,
you just
no,
let it
no.
go.
Yeah, you just basically Jack, who was in that Saturday night, he knew it, and you say the word, you better be running, because if I was him, I'd be killing you. It's just something that you just don't say. It's kind of like a forbidden word in that sense.
So you leave him alone.
Oh, you leave him alone, let him play, because he was playing amazing. We just couldn't put the puck in the net for him, but they all started falling, so.
Now you talk about amazing. We'll go back to Friday night, and I don't know if I'm throwing anybody under the bus. I don't know who it was, But so Friday night, puck drop, start the game. You guys win the draw. Go to throw it, pass the puck across. Sheridan steals it and takes off at Turek. And this kid's wide open, man.
Yeah.
Like 7 seconds into the game, shoots it. Turek gloves it right there. How big is that on what could have changed
That was
the momentum
huge
for Sheridan
because
at home?
Because honestly, if he didn't make that save, we would have been down 1-0. What, 15 seconds in?
Less than that.
Yeah, like
8 seconds.
I don't know. It was just we weren't physically there yet. We were okay. So we were physically there, but just mentally not there. And we kind of just were like, well, shit, it's time to pick it up now, I guess, even more. And it took us still a little while to get going, but as soon as it started going, we started going.
Nice. Okay, so let's go back to little Nick. Same question I ask all the guys. What is your first earliest memory of hockey?
Shoot, I mean, I hear stories all the time about, like, I don't know, when I was just probably maybe not even a year old, just being at an Islanders game, and I'd just back and forth watching the puck like I knew what was going on. And I don't know, I mean, I still do that. I mean, I watch the Islanders game every night.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's just, that's my earliest hockey memory, just being at a hockey game before I could even be one. My mom we had season ticket holders, all that.
See, dude, I'm pretty jealous because I didn't go to my first NHL game until I was 30-something. So that's, I mean, we got started late, obviously, when the Avs came here when I was 16. But even then, we weren't big. We weren't hockey people. My wife and I are from. It's small town. There's just no hockey. It wasn't something we really got into. We didn't really get into it till our daughter started doing it, and we really started to follow them. I went a couple times in college to. I went to a CCDU game, which I wish I could go back to and understand what I was watching. I told the story earlier, but it was, of all the sporting events I've been to, the coolest sign I've ever seen at a sporting event. We're in Colorado Springs at the World Arena. These kids have a sign that say you can't spell dumb without DU. Yeah, go Tigers. I was like, dude, that's so good. But I took the Jen and I and the girls, and they were little, and we went and watched them play. I can't remember if it was CC and St. Cloud or CC. It was a Minnesota, and they just beat the brakes off the Tigers.
Oh yeah.
But it was cool to kind of start, watch it and start following a little bit because I mean, hockey's just a cool sport. Do you have an Islanders game kind of that sticks out from growing up that was more important than the others? Like something that
these last couple years have been pretty tough for me. Every time I get here, I've been hearing it from the guys. Oh, Islanders lost in the Eastern Conference Finals. Islanders lost in the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think the biggest one of my life so far has been, honestly, I played on the Junior Coyotes when I was little, and we had a tournament in New Jersey. So
stop. Junior Coyotes, where are you at now there?
So I was 12, 11.
Okay, and so Junior Coyotes, you're in New York here?
No, I was in Arizona at the time.
Okay, so yeah. I have so many questions. Okay, so hometown is Bayside, New York.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Bayside, New York is Little Bovey or Middle Bovey or
that's Little Bovey. That's Little Bovey.
Okay, Little Bovey's in New York, and then when do you become Arizona Bovey?
About 5, yeah.
Okay, so you go. So there's no.
No, we were
some hockey in Arizona.
We were really good with hockey, actually. Ever since, I feel like our birth year in Arizona is probably the best birth year you'll have, besides, of course, Austin Matthews coming out of.
Yeah.
We played in the same.
What's the age difference between you and Matthews?
He's 4 or 5 years older than me. We played in the same organization at the same time, so he played for the Bobcats when I was there, and I remember when he was having his little stint with the Coyotes, they were telling him, "Hey, you could play for us for free," and he's like, "No, I'm loyal to the Bobcats," which was a big thing back then. There was not a lot of loyalty to the club hockey associations. I mean, there's only a select few guys. I played on every club team in Arizona, and I thought I was a loyal person, but sometimes injuries happen, you get cut. That's how it works.
Gotcha. So when is you're right at the start of hockey kind of exploding down there then?
Yeah.
Because it was not, I can't imagine what it costs to make ice down there. It's got to be insane. We were down there a couple years ago. As we were talking the other night at OC, we were down there 2 summers ago in Cave Creek.
Yeah.
And well, I'll put the picture up here. It's me holding the diamond back there, that's why their baseball team is called such. But the explosion of hockey down there. I mean, 10 years earlier, if you go from New York to Arizona, there might be only a sheet of ice or two. So you get down there and you get right into hockey.
Yeah, so I was actually skating in New York. I was skating at Islanders Iceplex and I wouldn't say got the call that I was moving. I kind of was forced to move. I remember Grandma picking me up, and we took the plane while my parents drove out to Arizona. And remember Christmas Day, my parents got there, and we just set up fort in Arizona.
Gotcha. So is that where your folks are now?
Yeah, like, we all stay in Arizona now.
Home base is still Arizona.
Home base is still Arizona.
Okay, so what is the youth program like when you're down there?
Oh, it's honestly probably one of the better youth
where
programs.
Where are we at in Arizona?
I'm in Surprise, so I'm about 45 minutes west of Phoenix.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I played all over. I played in Gilbert, which is where another guy on the team, Zach Cannon, he played most of his time. I never played for Flagstaff, where Carson Cooch is from, but I've always played against him in Flagstaff.
Yeah.
But
Flagstaff, that's up in the mountains.
Oh, that's the mountain
the
town.
Islanders, yeah.
Yeah, but what's it called? So, I mean, I played for every other organization. I played for the Junior Coyotes, played for the Bobcats, I played for the Knights with your Cannon. I played for the Arizona Runners back when they were a thing. That was my home rink, 20 minutes away.
Okay.
That was the closest rink I was from. But
so how many teams are there? Like, is it, when we were talking to Brock, like either earlier or later, depending. If not, you'll see this. Brock will be up in a minute. How many teams were there? Like, were you driving a long ways for hockey, or how does the structure of everything work down there?
I was driving. Well, I wouldn't say I was driving. My parents were driving.
You were
me.
riding.
Yeah, I was driving. My parents were driving me a lot of places. We played in a lot of leagues that weren't even just based in Arizona. We played in like just a Western league, so we play in like San Diego. We play Vegas, New Mexico, and we just make those types of trips. We'd always have tournaments, some far place out east or up in the central, like all those places. I've been everywhere before the time I was 13. It was kind of a good experience. Like, I feel like there's a lot, like Brock's only been to Minnesota, doesn't know what it's like to play some West Coast hockey, but it's all right. We don't talk about that.
No, but I think it's so cool that you guys have such a melting pot of players from. I mean, just looking at. Hold on, I'm gonna space. Who's from Is it Caleb that's from Alaska?
Fairbanks, yeah.
So he's from Fairbanks, and you're from Bayside. Like, I don't know that you can't be further apart in America than those two places. No. And of all the places you guys end up playing hockey together, you're in Gillette, Wyoming.
Yeah.
So, how do you end up in Gillette? What's that story?
So when I was playing for the Arizona Hockey Union, which was the Knights where I played with Zach, I was just playing in the Minnesota showcases because I played in like the NAPL, which is like the North American Prospects Hockey League, which is like the most of the teams for this league will look through that first before they start doing some other recruiting.
Okay.
So I believe Shaw was at one of my games where he saw me play and kind of nudged me a couple weeks before the draft that, hey, we want you to sign a tender. I was looking to go to school, so I wasn't really looking to sign a tender, and I told him, hey, like...
What does that mean? Okay. So I don't know. I still don't actually completely understand the whole structure of the rosters and whatnot. So what does that mean, sign a tender?
So we get a certain amount of tender signings a year.
Okay.
And as soon as you use it, it's done. You can't get it back. So that player, you
get a tender, or the Wild?
The Wild get a tender, and then
so these are protected players.
Yeah, these are protected players that the Wild own.
Okay.
But I was like, I don't really want to sign the tender.
Okay.
So I was just looking to go to school. I was working at the time, and then 2 weeks later, the NA3HL draft was coming on, and I was sitting at home just chilling out, and I get a call from a Minnesota number. I'm like, I wonder what this is about.
Yeah.
So I answer it.
What's the area code there? What's Minnesota?
Shoot, there's so many. I don't remember
gotcha.
it.
Okay.
But it was.
Yep.
I just remember it was Coach Shaw, and Coach
Okay.
Shaw gives me. He's like, "Hey, turn on like the TV. We're gonna draft you." And I'm like, "Okay." So I'm actually like, I turn it on to actually see if it's gonna happen. And little did I know, I did go in the draft, and I was like, "Oh shoot, they really want me to come out." So I was like, "All right, let me talk to my parents, kind of thing, see what they think." And 2 years later, I'm here.
Had you been here before?
No.
What did you know? So your first interaction or your first whatever with Gillette, you said Taylor had seen you when you were up in Minnesota. But other than that, you zip.shit didn't know nothing about Gillette.
No, I was actually talking with Missoula the year before.
Okay.
So I didn't
Well,
I didn't know anything.
Wise decision.
Yeah.
But so, and that seems to be a lot of the guys now, which I commend him. I commend him for moving up and doing what he got to do. It sucks. Shaw's cool as hell, man.
Yeah.
So which we're gonna get him on one of these weeks and talk to him. I don't know if they have internet where he is in Alaska. I don't know how that works up there, but we'll try. But had you already committed? Like, were you 100% gonna be here when you showed up in Gillette first time, or like, what's the research? Are you Googling shit, or what? Like, what happens when that happens?
I think the first thing I did was look up the division, and I looked up the bus rides. But that was the worst. I think that was the first thing that I did. That was the worst thing I could have done because I showed up to training camp last year like 30 pounds overweight, and I was not ready.
Yeah.
And I remember just, I don't know, I was looked over, but it made sense. I 100% understood it, and I just kept my head down, kept working, and now I'm back, and I feel great, and it feels good to be back at where I'm supposed to be. I love it here in Gillette.
Why though? That's like I deal with that even. My wife and I, we're transplants. We're both from Southeast Colorado. Had the chance we were up here earlier in our marriage, moved back to Colorado, the chance to come back, and we love it here too. But some people they'll talk. We're big keyhole people. We like to go.
Oh yeah.
So they'll talk shit about keyhole. Well, then don't show up. There's more room for us out on the lake.
Yeah.
But this isn't a bad place to be.
It's not terrible. I remember my first time I think I stepped out of the car, and I was with my dad and mom, and I was like, "What the fuck am I at?" Like,
yeah. Because it's a completely different atmosphere from Arizona. Like they're night and day. They can't be more different.
Yeah, like it's just. I like it so much here. It's so much more chillaxed. Like back home, you're always doing something. Like here, I go to practice, I go to work, I go home, or I hang out with the guys. I don't have much that I do here, which I enjoy because when I'm back home, I'm full force doing something.
Yeah, and there's always there's friends, and then there's opportunity for maybe some shenanigans and stuff that you don't need to be mixed up with.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, okay, another thing I gotta ask. I don't even know if this is PC or what hockey wise, but I gotta know like what how did the teeth get knocked out? Like what is that story?
It was last year in training camp. We were playing at the rock pile.
So it was here?
Yeah, I lost them here. I remember last year I kept all my teeth in my mouth. They wanted to put them back in, so I just had like a shark tooth here. These ones are all crooked and concave.
So what happened?
I got a high stick from Drew Wilcox. And I thought, the first thing I thought was like, oh, I just lost one. And I look up at the bench because we were doing a scrimmage, and they look at me, and they're all like,
oh, dude, you need to go to,
Yeah, and I remember, because my billet mom's a dental assistant, so we called her in the locker room, and Jacob Sundgren, everyone knows who he is. Yeah, he's calling her as I'm holding my mouth, and he goes, and he's the jokester. No one can believe anything he says. Yeah. So he calls my billet mom and goes, hey, Bopey lost like 5 teeth.
All of them.
And she goes, you're joking. And he goes, for the first time in my life, I don't think I'm joking.
Dead not serious.
And she's like, all right, get him here now. So then I remember I jumped in Shaw's car.
Okay, so where's she at? Where's there?
Powder River Dental.
Okay, Powder River Dental. Okay, awesome.
Yep, and so I hopped in Shaw's car. I got there, and it was actually on their wedding anniversary, which I felt really bad about, but...
Billet mom's anniversary?
Yeah, she was doing my teeth up before she had to go out for her anniversary dinner, so I felt bad. But
no, that's not bad. That's a story they'll have forever.
Oh, heck
forever.
Well, yeah. What's it called? So I just maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hour procedure done, and pretty much I had braces over them for a couple weeks, got them taken off, got a couple root canals, and I kept them in my mouth for the rest of the year. And when I got back home, we went straight to Mexico, and I got them all fixed up.
Is that part of the Mexico story I got the other night?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah.
We're not going to tell that here. Okay, so absolutely. Of all the teams you've been on, like, does this one feel special? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it seems like you guys are having a lot of fun. And Taylor has a lot to do with it. He brought a lot of you guys and was responsible for a lot of you guys, and then the guys that Ethan has brought in. I know, talking to Easton last week, he had made mention of, as kind of, when I was going to ask Brock that, I forgot, as kind of the elder statesman, you kind of see the older guys on the team sometime when a new coach comes in and he brings, which
his
with
guys
Ethan,
in.
it's been a step up too. Like his guys have come in and they're Easton made the call. They're good hockey players.
Yeah, they're great hockey players.
Is that cool? Like,
oh, it's fine with me.
It?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I mean, the best part about having a good team is you always got to have fun, and these guys love to have fun. They love to we've come to the rink every day and we're ready. It's something I've never really seen. I remember last year we struggled with that sometimes. We'd come here and be like, oh, it's Monday and snowing. We don't really want to practice. But, like, every day we're always ready to go. 6 a.m. workouts, always ready to go. Like, we dread it 100%, but we're still going to put in the work and do it.
Nice. From the standpoint of kind of the what Gillette has to offer, both the team, the rink, I wasn't aware as much as when Jack was talking about it last week with the stuff with Gillette physical therapy and all that. I mean, do you feel grateful? Do you enjoy kind of all this stuff that comes along with being in Gillette? What are the perks you love?
I love it. I just love playing in front of fans. I mean, back home, the only time you get fans, you played high school hockey, and that was very rare. It depends if it was like a rivalry game, so it wasn't much. But, like, GPT, they're amazing. I was just in there today getting my neck all fixed up from after I took that hit in Sheridan.
Yeah.
But
which we'll get, and I didn't show it in the recap. I didn't know. I got in a little trouble last year for some
no, you're
stuff.
good.
Well, no, I'll tell you when we're done here why I got in trouble. But I don't know what I can show, what I can't show, what I can't say. So that was dirty as hell, man. So, like, are you okay?
Yeah, I just got to I had to get my eye a little glue and.
Okay. Did the lights go out or did they flicker a little bit?
They flickered a little bit.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. That was just when I got onto my knees. That was the. All right, I'm okay.
Yeah. So same thing. You'll learn this as you get older. So the wife and I, our daughters they drove to Casper to watch some high school football. My wife and I, the first time in a long time, it was just her and I. It had nothing to do. Every intention of driving to Sheridan.
Yeah.
She has a bad day at work, so we're not going to Sheridan. So we run to Pizza Carrillo a little bit. We go home. We have it on the TV, and what happened? She was mad. Like, legitimately mad. I was like, nah. And I was worried originally, and then you got up and I was like, nah. I mean, they're hockey players. They're tough.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, that was, I don't know. I thought that was dirty as
hell. I mean, he also did have a couple inches on me, so it's not, I wouldn't say it was a bad hit.
Yeah.
I couldn't call him a dirty player because he is using his body.
It was just a bad hit.
Oh, 100%. He was using his size to his advantage. It's just I was in a vulnerable position that really could have gotten me seriously injured. I was very thankful it didn't, but I guess he got that suspension to notice that it's not cool to do that anymore.
Yeah, don't hit him in the head.
Yeah.
And that's what I've said before. It was the same thing when I told Dale and the guys, which it's cool now. Like, when I go to work or the folks that know that they help out with the hockey, man, there's been more and more talk, especially the last 3 weeks, about the hockey and whatnot. But they talk about if there's blood on Friday, the place is full on Saturday. And it's maybe so, but it's, dude, until you've seen, like, I've seen my oldest daughter, man, she got dirty dicked hard a couple years ago, hit dirty. To the enough where I had to grab my wife. Like, my wife was going to go out there and fix it. And I was like, no, you have to sit here. But I get that that's part of the game and that's part of the draw of hockey. but I hate to see guys hit the boards. I hate to see them go to the ground and hit the boards. I hate to see people's heads hit the ice. And I don't mind like a good clean fight, but if someone's head goes down, I don't like
No,
it.
it's
To me,
not.
that's not my.
There's a
that's
code.
Not my style.
Yeah, there's a code, and some guys follow it. Some guys play their own code.
Okay.
But there's a code you stick with.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
you're always just you come into the game and you learn it, kind of thing.
Nice. Last thing, and I'll let you go. I appreciate you taking some time. I know.
Yeah, no problem.
You had to shuffle some shit around for.
No, I'm
so.
good. We can talk as long as you want.
No, well, I gotta go home. I gotta cook dinner. So
All right, I got you.
Road trip coming up.
Yeah.
You road trip captain, we'll say it. You've done a bunch of it there in Arizona. Is there anything? Well, two questions. First of all, is there a favorite road trip place you had growing up? Like, is there anywhere you went that was kind of your favorite? Ours is Cody. I don't know where you guys stay when you go to Cody with the girls, because I get a book. I'm the team mom.
It's just like the place with the cabins, if you know where that is. It's just
I don't know. We stay at the Ivy,
Okay.
Ivy Inn and Suites. It's right there through town. Buffalo Bills. You hang a left, you go straight, and you make that other right past the Dairy Queen.
Okay.
So that Ivy Inn right there, that's one of our favorite, if not our favorite place to stay in Wyoming. So we love going over to Cody.
Yeah.
So, did you have a favorite place? As like, where did Lil Bovi like going?
Like going back home to New York. I mean, we played there a couple times just for my team. They were just like, go back east, get the food, get to see family. A lot of family would come drive by. I mean, Uncle lives in Chicago now, so whenever I'd play in Chicago, go stay with him. Didn't have to stay in a hotel with the team. I'd get a special permission to go stay with my uncle, and he'd drive me around. It was just that, I don't know, just traveling in general to me was fun. I didn't have a favorite place. I just loved traveling.
What is one thing? Brock has to have the pillow.
Oh.
What do you have to have? Like, what's the one thing you would be pissed if you forgot when you went to Cody? So it's Thursday night. You guys are leaving in tomorrow sometime. I don't know what time you leave on Friday to go over there. What would you be devastated if you didn't take with you?
I gotta say the headphones, but I know a lot of the guys wouldn't be so mad about it. They always make fun of me, saying like they'll look back and it's 3 a.m. and I'm just wide awake, nodding my head like.
What are we jamming? Like, what's your musical taste?
Shoot, I listen to everything. I listen to 90s rap, 2000s alternative, 90s grunge. Like, that's my go-to stuff. But like, I listen to anything from country to jazz. Everything's fair game.
Cool, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking some time. Good
no
luck.
problem.
We'll see you guys when you get back here.
Heck yeah.
Not this weekend. They're in Cody. Weekend after that, we'll be back. Thanks, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
All right, Wild fans, there you have it. Another pair of great young men that we have in our community, that we have chose to come here to play hockey. It's always interesting to hear these guys talk about what exactly it is that got them into town, why they are here. So this weekend, first road trip of the year, guys are going to load in the bus. It's just a shorty. Everybody loves shorties. Guys are going to load up. They're going to go over there through Tinsley, going to around, end up in Cody, one of my favorite places to go. I'm not going this weekend. We've had 5 or 6 home games in a row, weekends in a row, 6 or 7. It feels like it's been a lot of them, which gets me to another thing. We cannot thank the volunteers enough that show up every weekend, give their time, and help put on what we hope is a great product for you guys that spend your money to come out to the arena. I know some of the volunteers are also billet moms and dads. They're headed over the mountain. God bless you. Be safe. Good travels. I'm going to be sitting downstairs with a little drink, and I'll have her pulled up on Hockey TV. Yeah, Cody does a good job. They're up top there. I don't believe there's a net messing with the feed. Good camera. Good guys calling the game. Friday, Saturday night, over in Cody, Hockey TV. That's what I will be following along. So before we get out of here, let's check on some statistics. Let's look at the numbers. First thing we're going to check in on all of the NA3HL. This is scoring. Right now, leading all of the NA3HL in scoring, Gillette Wild's Declan Young with 23 points. And in fourth, Tristan Baker, Gillette Wild, 18 points. Tied with him, Tucker Lean, Gillette Wild, 18 points. Move our way down. Isaac Young, Gillette Wild, 16 points. Gillette Wild, that's the top 10 right there. In 11th, Sejan Norwegian, Gillette Wild, 15 points. Caleb Sanborn, Gillette Wild, 14 points. Brock Trboyevich, who we heard from earlier, only defenseman in what on this list is the top 20. Brock's the only defenseman in the top 20 with 14 points. And that is it for Gillette. So let's go total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the top 20 players in the NA3HL right now nationwide point scores play for your Gillette Wild. That is impressive. And I'm guessing if I click over here and look at the Defenseman and you hit submit, right now I'm on the NA3HL website. It's a great resource, great tool to use. Brock actually has some company right now at the top, tied with the Butte Cobra. Again, we're staying in the frontier. Cade Westman, Brock Trboyevich, each tied with 14 points apiece. Second place is 11, so they're 3 points up on second place right there for the defenseman. Clicky here. We're going to go check up on some goalies. Hit the old submit button. When we look here, Jack Orchard, number 11, 1.57 goals against average. And that's 11. That's tough, man. There's some good goal. There is some good goalies, or they're let's be honest, they're facing some piss poor competition. Guys just aren't getting the shots. So I don't know. That's a guess. But Jake, Robert done a phenomenal job here for the Wild start to season. Like I said, we put everything off for a day. That's why you're seeing this on Thursday instead of Wednesday. So we can wait and see when the NA3HL announces their awards, whether it be monthly, weekly plays of the week, which I got to do some investigating on the plays of the week. I don't think Gillette's had a play yet that's made the plays of the week. And either the guys in Plano aren't watching our games, but we should have been on there. We've had some goals that frankly should have made that cut. So we got to figure out what's going on there, because we should have made that video by now. But I digress. Frontier Division Stars of the Week. When you go through it and you look at the honorable mention for this past weekend, Jack Orchard with the shutout Saturday night. You heard it discussed both with Bovi and Brock, talking about kind of the importance and the stuff that goes on during a game. You don't want to talk about it, this, that, and the other. Jack earns him an honorable mention. And also Declan Young, who with that goal in Sheridan moved into first place, all-time points for the Gillette Wild. He wrapped up the goal a month ago or so. That was in the video earlier too. So here's what we got. First road trip of the season. They've extended. If you do not have Hockey TV, you need to get on Hockey TV. Go to, which if you're watching this, I'm fairly confident you already are friends with the Gillette Wild on Facebook. If not, Gillette Wild Facebook page, find the promo code, put it in. It saves you, like, don't hold me to this, but it holds you some money. And get signed up, and then you can watch the boys when they're somebody else's barn. So this weekend, Friday, Saturday night, the boys over in Cody. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.